Why is somatic work revolutionary for psychedelics?
Somatic work is revolutionary for psychedelics because psychedelics are related. Psychedelics are the revelation of the mind, body, spirit connection. So when we bring our awareness and attention to our body holds all of our epigenetics. It holds all of the sensations and the feelings, most that are automatic and oftentimes unconscious. And so when we start to bring our awareness and our attention toward what it is that we feel in our body and what we feel in our subtle body, and begin to really trust that, like where our attention is being pulled toward, then, our body there's all the intelligence is there. It's all there. And because of our culture and because of our family histories, a lot of that has been suppressed or denied or judged. And so when we have that space to really listen to the body, then the things that we feel we don't have control over, or the things that are driving us unconsciously, begin to become conscious. And once it begins to become conscious through access to the body, then we're no longer being driven by those things. And we have more of an authentic connection to what's true for us. And there's a wider depth and breadth of consciousness and of wisdom that we walk with, that when we're moving so fast in life, we don't notice. But there's a deep portal of wisdom that's available right there when we slow things down enough to actually hear and see.
Two most important messages you have for the psychedelic.
Okay. The two most important messages that I have for the psychedelic community would be, I think one of them is bravo, because I think that it's amazing how there's a huge leveling up that is happening around care and how we're working inside of psychedelics. The other message is anybody even considering serving psychedelics should be in a relationship themselves with psychedelics. Nobody wants to be sitting with anybody who has no idea what they're experiencing. So my advice would be to really spend years doing your own inquiry and your own investigation and asking yourself why. Why am I doing this? What am I coming to this for? Is it because it's a trendy thing to do? Is it because I want to switch my practice? Like what? What's the nature? Like what is it that you feel called to this about? I would say those two things.
What drew you to psychedelics? What called you to serving?
I didn't choose to serve psychedelics. I had a very profound experience as an unconscious rite of passage when I was just under 16 that totally transformed my whole life and perception of existence. And as you can imagine, I took 7 grams of mushrooms at 15 years old, not knowing what I was doing. And I was just blown away by what happened and what changed. And I had such reverence and respect for that spirit that I continued to have a relationship with that spirit. And I carried that on in a way that was very sacred. And because of the way that I related to it, people would ask me, hey, I'm really curious about this. Would you do them with me, or would you be with me? And so that was in the beginning. And then the club scene happened, New York City. And again, I was in the corner or outside on the stoop, kind of with somebody deep in the conversation. And then as time went on, I moved to Mexico after another deep dive. My whole story is on my website. But after another really beautiful experience that was life transforming. I'd moved to Mexico and met a medicine man and started touring Europe and Mexico, serving hundreds of people, toad medicine, 5-MeO-DMT. And through that experience, I learned everything what not to do. And I never had any intention on serving medicine or serving in that way ever, or that was terrifying to me. But I did feel a deep calling to learn about trauma and different modalities. And I went to a lot of immersives where I was processing a lot of my own deep primary experiences. And through all of the trauma trainings and all of the hypnotherapy trainings and all of the things that I was interested in, that I just immersed myself inside of those studies for years. It was, the medicine kept coming into my field, people asking me to support them. And it was slowly that I started to support people that were close to me in that way. And then I met other facilitators and people and just started to expand and really lay out foundations that weren't even, nobody was talking about because it was so underground at the time. But we started laying out foundations of like proper relationship and use of how to hold space